So the Ready Player One game is being built? Here's the picture where this confirms as such, but let's come back to this in a minute. Ready Player One is a successful science fiction novel that came out back in 2011. And that novel turned into a movie in 2018 that focused on virtual reality, or in modern day, the Metaverse. Looking at 2018 movie stats, it ended up ranking number 23 for the year in the domestic box office, with the top 5 of the year being Deadpool 2, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Incredibles 2, Avengers Infinity War, and the number 1 slot was Black Panther. The movie grossed around $592 million worldwide and was nominated for Best Visual Effects at several film award shows. I tried finding some stats on the book, but I didn't come across a whole lot. It seemed that the second book did about 1.7 million copies, and that was a report from Publishers Weekly back in 2020. So assuming that a fair amount more have sold since then, and with this, you could see a couple more sales happening. The film was directed by Steven Spielberg. He was quoted as saying this was the third hardest film that he's ever done, with Jaws being number 1 and then Saving Private Ryan being number 2. The cast featured some notable names, especially for you House of the Dragon fans. Olivia Cooke was in the film, along with Ty Sheridan, Mark Rylance, and Ben Mendelsohn. The movie depicted what a future looked like if it was run by a game economy, and also just being online 24/7, from education to work to fun. What would the world look like in that setting? So with the book and movies being created, there was never a game. Okay, hold on. There was a game. It didn't end up having all that great of success. It was called Ready Player One Oasis Beta. It came out on March 23rd, 2018, with the movie releasing on March 30th, so a few days later, but apparently there's been no updates to it. It seemed like it was potentially a promotion for the movie itself. It was a VR game, so again, thinking back to 2018, obviously VR was nowhere where it is today, so maybe there just wasn't enough players with it. It was scrapped. I'm not really sure what the situation is around it, but you can look it up on Steam if you want to. Back to this photo. On the left is Ernest Cline, author of Ready Player One, Aaraon McDonald, founder of Futureverse, Dan Farah, producer of Ready Player One, the film, and Shara Senderoff, founder of Futureverse. So what is Futureverse? Their Twitter bio reads, enabling every human to create the worlds they imagine. Now, there is so much going on with Futureverse that it's really hard to kind of nail it down and describe it in one capacity without giving kind of a broad blanket on everything that's going on. For creators, artists, bands to create on, for fans to engage with. Creation of games, movies, films, what have you. Does it actually encompass everything? We don't know. Trust me, I've been following this stuff forever. We got like a little bit of a sliver of an idea, but I feel like we haven't pulled back the curtains entirely just yet. So listen, there's a whole lot going on within the whole Futureverse ecosystem. My recommendation would be, once you're done with this video, go look up Futureverse on YouTube, find a bunch of other great content creators, and you'll see what's going on. Also, if you go check out Twitter, there is a Down the Rabbit Hole Twitter space that happens pretty much every Tuesday night, depending on where you are, that's hosted by Max Poker. But don't forget, while you're here on this video, make sure to drop a like if you found this informative at all. There is a really cool graphic here by @VNBNS1 on Twitter, and it kind of depicts the scale of what's going on with Futureverse. And as you can see, there's a lot of different partnerships, a lot of different companies that are aligning themselves with what's going on here, and I think that there's a lot more to be added within time. So now we got this photo, and we know a little bit about both kind of entities. One's a very popular book and movie that's about the metaverse, and another one's about a suite of tools that are being created, and they're also creating a metaverse. So they're working together. What the hell does that look like? The virtual world and game, I guess, in which the Ready Player One is established is called the Oasis. So knowing that one's kind of a tool in creating of a metaverse and whatnot, are we going to guess that it's games in Oasis, kind of like how there was racing within the movies? Maybe there's arcade games as well. Is it something that's smaller? Is it something that's a lot bigger? What if it's the Oasis itself? Could this be a hint at a sequel movie? The metaverse in Futureverse is called the Third Kingdom. Now, some have speculated saying, I wonder if this is going to be a sequel film that comes out. Is this going to be something that's just a part of a game? We're really stuck here, and I'd love for you to leave a comment if you think you have an idea of what this partnership looks like. And to be honest, it could have absolutely nothing to do with what happened in Ready Player One, and it's just an entire immersive world that's created that has kind of the mass appeal of Ready Player One, saying, hey, you know, they created this gaming universe within a metaverse way back when, and now you get to experience Ready Player One, maybe not, one-to-one about how the Oasis looked, but, kind of the branding and everything around it. Now, on that graphic that we showed earlier, Futureverse is a giant entity, and they're working on kind of two other big games, along with many others, but just in terms of notability that you'd probably recognize, they're working on an AI soccer game or football game with FIFA, and as well, there's a Muhammad Ali brand name boxing AI game that's coming out as well. And so, again, there's a lot of different things that are happening, and the term metaverse and hey, everything happens within one go here, is these kind of a part of that partnership with Ready Player One, or is Ready Player One, again, just for a certain aspect of this world, and these, using those two games as an example, is something that's pushed off that just happens to be in the works from the same company. Now, going back to what I said earlier, and the simplest thought is maybe this partnership is the Oasis on a massive scale, where you're able to go around, see the things that were in the film, and go from there. You'd have to assume that there's going to be experiences, games, and whatnot, but still, back when I played Hogwarts Legacy when that came out, it was really cool to kind of walk around Hogwarts in a really nice, immersive experience. And what if that's kind of how the future shapes up? Think of Lord of the Rings. Would you not want to go through Middle-earth in a game? Obviously, there's ones where we've had in the past. Obviously, the recent Gollum one hasn't had the greatest reviews, but what if you were able to go and visit these different places in a very high-fidelity, interactive, fun way? What if that happened with Westeros and Game of Thrones? What if that happened with the whole world where the TV show The 100 was taking place, and you could go to Mount Weather? Is there a reality where we could see movies getting released and simultaneously in a completely immersive experience of everything that you just watched, you could go and play within a game right after watching? I remember way back when, certain toys, collectibles, charms, they had them in movies where it incorporated a little bit extra of behind the scenes footage and whatnot, and I love that. What if we're taking that kind of idea and we're changing it much more, where you have this bigger experience, it's not could not even be behind any sort of paywall, and really give a whole new meaning to content as a whole? We know how far AI is going. Is this something that's actually a reality that could be closer than we think? I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, leave a comment if you have any thoughts about what you think this partnership could be. I could imagine the more of a kind of official announcement comes out, but very excited to see what's to come. And again, think about subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and thanks so much for tuning in. Talk soon.